So in 2019, generally girls do not know how to cook. I'm gonna show them a few things. All right, so we're making a Greek salad here. I want to keep the vegetables pretty chunky. I don't want them to be small pieces, so I'm going to cut it up in about 2-inch sections. Then I'll quarter these pieces. Only the perfect pieces make it. Now we're going to use roasted red bell peppers. We're also going to chunk these up pretty big. You don't want any of this white part because it's kind of bitter, so you want to cut it out before you feed it to your people, this piece. Probably in 4 big pieces again. Any of this piece you're cutting off. This maybe like 6 because it's kind of big. You just use your brain. It's not really science, but we make it happen out here. So when you get tomatoes, you want to pick delicious tomatoes. These days, not every tomato is a beautiful tomato. If it doesn't look red, it's not going to be sweet or yummy on the inside. These I'm just going to half because they're pretty small. All right, last tomato. When you have a larger vegetable, you want to have a larger knife. I was using a small knife up until now, but now I'm going to go to a bigger one for the potatoes and the giant onion. So I'm going to do a big cut and one more big cut. You want to get your fingers out of the way so you keep them. Critical elements. I could hear my mother saying, watch your fingers. You want to cut off the outer piece or 2 even, just so they're like the perfect inner pieces. The outside ones sometimes are a little drier and not as yummy. Now I'm going to cut this also in 4s. Keeping everything larger in this salad. And no lettuce is really in this salad, it's just called a salad. Alright, so we're going to chop in a few fresh herbs, fresh thyme, fresh oregano. Just a small amount because you don't want it to be bitter. We're going to actually add this into the dressing. It's not working. That's for the vinegar and oil. The flavor of fresh herbs, though, is unmatched to any dry herb you could buy. Some garlic. Some olive oil. You're just gonna pour it in until it's maybe 1 inch of the way higher than it was. You don't want it super greasy. The hole's smaller, so I probably shouldn't have put the garlic. Should have put it directly in. That's fine. Just slip it in there. We make it happen in any direction out here. My whole life is about improvising. And a lot of times when you're cooking, improvising comes through. So, if you know flavors go well together, you can just make it happen. Fresh citrus, always delicious. I like to use a lemon squeezer because the seeds don't get in my stuff. I don't have to work as hard. And making your own dressing is really simple, except you don't have all these preservatives and gross things that you don't want to feed your family. So it's actually a lot nicer to make your own. A little vinegar. I'm going to get something else out of the fridge. Tiny splash of a balsamic glaze. Now we're going to marinate our salad for about a half an hour while we cook our other things. This is my happy place. I'm gonna break up these onions a little bit so they're not so chunky. As it marinates, the flavors will marry together and it'll be more delicious in about a half an hour. It would be good now, but way better in a half hour. All right, I'm also gonna add a tiny bit of salt. And then last but not least, a little bit of feta cheese. I personally only like certain fetas that come in sheep's milk brine. They're way more delicious, way more salty. I've been sold other ones, but I honestly don't like them as much, so check this one out. Vigo. It's really good. Tastes like the restaurants. You can use about half of it. Don't leave it big. It'll kind of break itself up as I toss it around. Toss it. If the pieces don't want to break up, I'm gonna also break them up. Sometimes there's man down in the action, but you never pick him back up. He stays down. Sorry, man. So that's it for now. We're gonna cover it and put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, maybe 40. It's gonna be way better tasting. Tune back in. Teach these ladies life lessons. 2020 version. So potatoes are pretty dirty, so you're gonna wash them before you just start chopping them up. Nothing crazy. We're not that fancy. Try to live though. I'm gonna cut these in 3. We want to keep them all the same thickness is why I'm doing this. Even though I'm using 2 different types of potatoes, a giant one and a small one, I'm gonna cut them about the same thickness so they can cook at the same rate. Methods to the madness, I swear. Now I'm switching back to the big knife. Alright, so we're gonna toss them in a fresh bowl. Let's get simple. Last of them. Gonna do some olive oil. Not crazy greasy, but like wet, because we're gonna flip them. That when they cook, they'll be crunchy. We're gonna do a squeeze of lemon. Alright, so we're gonna crumble some feta into our potatoes. So when they cook, they got like a crunchy little cheesiness to the top. Wash my hands about 3,000 times while I'm cooking. I haven't really cooked with anything raw yet, but still, do the right thing. I like these silicone bendy type rubber spoons. They work well for a lot of things. Not particularly the one I'm doing. Truthfully. This, to me, is one of the best Greek seasonings. My mother's used this since I was young, actually, on potatoes, and everyone's always loved it. It's like a secret winner. So I'm gonna use some of that on there. It's really good. Okay, so we're gonna move everything around. They're gonna be seasoned, but not crazy seasoned, and pretty evenly this way. Instead of just doing it on a pan and having them like one side, they'll be everywhere. There's always more seasonings and more levels to things while we're doing them, you'll see. But this is like the preliminary. All right, so now the actual pan, you're gonna drizzle a little, and that's gonna be the bottom so they don't cook. But I'm also gonna use a pan olive oil so it really doesn't stick. Now you're gonna pour them onto the pan. All the yummy flavors you're gonna put on top. Now you're gonna like put them out into a single sheet so that they cook well. And if any are touching, you wanna push them apart and make sure they really cook. So I'm adding a little more seasoning because I'm a seasoning queen. My mother does it one time. Me, I hope no one's looking sometimes. And then when they eat it, they're like, damn, these are good. I'm like, I know, because you weren't looking. Real talk. Do that, and a tiny bit more of that olive oil to make them crunchy. Boom, boom, boom. So my secret to cooking is cooking on a higher temperature. I never cook on less than 400. All my friends cook on this 325. That doesn't even exist to me. I own a pizza place and we cook on 600 degrees, and I realize things that cook on a higher temperature, they come out way better that way. Watch, I'll show you. These are a Greek juicy olive that literally I call an apple because I feel like they have so much meat on them. Most olives you couldn't cut this way. Alright, so we're gonna add our olives. Could have been added earlier, just totally, literally forgot. We're gonna add them, and I toss with a knife a lot of times, so just get in there, whatever you got. You don't always gotta do a million dishes. Your mom's not looking, neither is your husband. And if they are, tell them you're welcome for dinner. I've always been a bit of a sassy chick. Alright, we're throwing it back in the fridge, gonna marinate longer while we cook our chicken. We're gonna pull out our marinated chicken. So last night, I decided to get organic chicken breasts and marinate them in lemon, olive oil, fresh oregano, fresh thyme, a little bit of Greek seasoning, a little bit of garlic. Oh, with white wine, all together overnight, and if you could smell this, you'd be moving in too. I'm heating this pan before I even think about putting my chicken down. Having a pan like this is actually awesome because I don't have a grill outside because I don't really need one. And when I want to cook a piece of chicken or a steak, I put it on here, some grilled vegetables. I even get the grill lines on a panini. This pan is bomb. I got it at Home Goods. So you want to make sure that you're cleaning as you're going so that you don't have a big mess in your kitchen when you're done. If you clean as you go, at the end you just have the dishes that you ate off of and you get to jump on the couch that much sooner. Again, probably the goal for everyone. I'm gonna do my marinated chicken and just sear it on that pan. I'll give it a little olive oil spray just so nothing gets weird. Oh, I'm gonna flip them. They look delicious. See, now you get the brown color on the bottom. So, ooh, the color, see? This is when you know you're making it. When you're a chef and the right color comes up on your food, that is life. Other people are like, what are you talking about? You know? Even the right colored toast makes me happy. I have friends that literally can't boil water. And I offer to give them free cooking lessons all the time. And they claim they're coming. And instead they go out drinking with me, wasting my talents. No problem, I'm a fun fucker when I drink. But let me tell you, I'm definitely better in the kitchen. We're actually gonna steal one. Alright, Jack. I'm excited. I'm ready to eat. Some people rather have dessert. Me personally, I'm a savory eater, so I'd rather have lots of food, delicious things. I'll eat dessert, but I'd rather eat delicious food all day. These are looking good. Close to done. You can tell by that brown, delicious little crunchy edge. Like, wait 3 minutes and try one of these. With the lemon and the fresh herbs, the flavor is going to be unbelievable. Marinating the whole night too. Alright, I'm going to actually cut this little bit of chicken up in half so that it really like gets with the juice and make sure it cooks the whole way and all of that. And again, nothing fancy, just, you know, certain things you just want to make sure they're cooked the whole way through. If you don't have a food thermometer, you got to make sure it's going to be better than your mama's chicken. So these yummy, delicious potatoes are done, but I'm gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna shred a little Asiago cheese on the top, and then I'm gonna mix them around and serve them. Not crazy, not super cheesy. Dinner's ready, so I'm gonna set the table and see you there.